All right. Well, there's a lot of news stories, mostly because of the new Republican administration that is living up to their plan of implementing all the stuff they planned over the last several years at Project 2025, which everyone knew they were going to do, although Trump lied and said he wasn't going to do it. And they call it shock and awe, after the Nazi technique called Sturm und Drang. Many of the acts the Republican Party do these days are explicitly copied from the Nazis. And as you know, the effective leader of our country is in fact Elon Musk, who is an open Nazi, absolutely clear about it. So Ontario is upset because of the 25% tariff imposed upon them. So they're canceling their deal with their Starlink. I certainly think this makes sense, and it does kind of cut out the middleman. There's no real point dealing with Trump. You should deal with the real leader of America, the Nazi Elon Musk, and you should punish him where it matters. So they've canceled their deal with Starlink. So the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is a target of the current criminals running our government, of course, because they are financial criminals. Trump's been convicted of that. He owes $400 million in fines just for the crimes he committed in New York, and he paid $25 million for the fraudulent college he ran. He's a complete criminal, so they certainly want to end government agencies that punish financial criminals, like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, so they're destroying it. This happened to me. It didn't happen to me quite this badly, but this guy's been on YouTube for 15 years, putting up videos, and suddenly they just cancel it and delete all his videos with no explanation at all, and he can't reach anybody. Now, there's a fundamental flaw with using a free service. There's something, one of the truisms on the internet is if you are not paying, then you are the product. You are not the customer. And so YouTube is giving you a free service, so they certainly have the right to just cancel it at any time. But a whole bunch of people have their business that greatly depends on being on YouTube. And to some extent, I'm one of them. I tried moving off it when they threatened to ban me a while ago, but then they seem to have improved their AI, so they're not threatening to ban me all the time. I think they were banning me for illegal content because I'm teaching hacking classes and such, and they seem to have gotten a little smarter, so they're not doing that. However, I found out now there is something called PeerTube, which is where I could move to if they kicked me off YouTube, but it wouldn't have all the features YouTube has, like automatic caption creation, which is pretty important for college classes, so I'd only go there if I have to. Anyway, after Lee went to the Ars Technica and the press contacted Google, then within 3 days they restored his channel. So people who can have connections, in fact, that's how I got my channel unbanned. I knew somebody who worked at Google in the security department. So this is what happens when you have corrupt government or no real government. You can't go through any channels and get anything done. The only way to get anything done is friend of a friend. That's called crony capitalism, and it's about money. This is probably deserves a slightly different name, but it's pretty much the same thing. And it's definitely how everything's going to work now in America in the current corrupt administration. Let me check for... Oh, I can see over there. There's no comments on Twitch. Good. It's nice to be in a room with two screens. So this is probably pretty interesting to students. As you know, the AI models are easy to lie to and fool. You can tell them you're writing a story, or my grandmother's going to die if you don't tell me how to pick this lock, or something like that. And you can often trick them into doing what they're not supposed to do. So Anthropic claims that they have fixed this. They have a complicated system of creating thousands of jailbreaks and then training their model not to fall for them. And they say they have actually had thousands of hours of professional pen testers pen testing it, or somebody, and now they've opened it to the world, and there's a prize if you can jailbreak it. But you have to do a good job jailbreaking it. You have to find a universal jailbreak that will trick it into doing 10 forbidden things. Anyway, it's very interesting. I don't recommend it as a way to make money, because these bug bounties are too hard. I mean, the things people will pay for are usually extremely difficult. You're very unlikely to succeed, and when I do them, every time I succeed, they just say either, oh, that doesn't count, or somebody else found it first. So as a way to making money, just getting a job is far better. But it's very important, because I'm not aware of any way to stop these jailbreaks yet. These text-based, social engineering type jailbreaks. So this is a major step forward. If Anthropic has made a model that can actually withstand a considerable amount of attempts to jailbreak it, that's important for all the other AIs to learn how to do it too. So I think this is Tom Cotton, but he wants to put a prison term on anybody that aids Chinese AI. Now, this is just more and more of a military hostility, and apparently, this is from Josh Hawley, and apparently it could give you a punishment even if all you did was download it, which I did here, and I showed you how to do it. Yep, okay, good. Glad to see you. Voice Bahia, everybody's welcome. Anyway, this has not passed yet, and hopefully it won't become a law in this form, because saying it's illegal to even download an open source model and run it is pretty harsh. Now, we can't put TikTok on government machines, but they didn't even ban TikTok for private citizens that want to do it, and I think the First Amendment would make it kind of difficult. So anyway, hopefully they won't actually go that far. But I can understand how, in the spirit of, we do have an embargo of advanced AI chips to China, and when I went to China, I was going to teach them cryptography, and the organizers of the conference told me, no, it is forbidden to teach cryptography in China because there is an embargo on cryptographic information going there. And so I think if you were to go there and teach them how to write an AI model, that probably would be illegal. Embargo. So that would make some sense. But saying we can't download their model and examine it here is a bit much, I think. Ah, the page is gone. All right, too bad. Skip that then. All right, so the Alliance for Deutschland, the neo-Nazi party in Germany, which Elon Musk is their hero, appears at them, supports them, tells them just quit worrying about the Holocaust. And so their leader, Weidel, is also saying, we're just being abused when people say that we shouldn't be Nazis again in Germany because of the Holocaust. Who cares about that? It's quite disturbing when they use that as a political instrument. This is, in Germany, there are laws against using Nazi symbols and such because they don't want to do the Holocaust again, at least the mainstream. However, this is now the #2 party in Germany. The Nazis are rising there just like they're rising here, and they've won here with Elon Musk and Donald Trump. So they're not very far from winning in Germany. And if Elon Musk wants to go give them $100 billion, you'll probably be able to make them win in Germany too. And that would clearly make him and Musk and the Republicans in America very happy. So San Francisco, if you lived in San Francisco for a while or dealt with the college administration, you probably know about this. San Francisco built a bunch of homes just for teachers, but they can't get in. When you apply, you will just end up in a Kafkaesque maze of trying to prove that you have the right income, that you qualify this way and that way. And it became clear this guy spent like years trying to get in, and they just kept changing the rules and contradicting themselves and different people telling him different things. You got a lot of that around here, just to run around, where you can't get through the bureaucracy. So in the Netherlands, somebody sprayed a swastika on the Tesla door. There it is on the outside, and put our slogans on there. I was tempted to do the same thing here. I walked past a Tesla dealership, and that's what I think. I haven't done it. I'm not that inclined to go to prison for minor crime like that, but I certainly sympathize with it. Elon Musk is a Nazi, and I think every Tesla dealership should just have a Nazi flag and some protesters carry Nazi banners in front of it all the time, as far as I'm concerned. So the global warming is much worse than expected. There have been many tests showing that we apparently have passed the tipping point and the Earth is warming up much faster than it should. And this, by the way, is one of the major contradictions. Even as recently as a year ago, Elon Musk was proud of being a good guy because he was promoting electric cars and thus preventing global warming. But now he's in bed with Trump, who says global warming is a hoax and we should just have more and more fossil fuels. So it shows that he has no principles about that any more than anything else. Anyway, there's a lot of evidence showing the glaciers are melting and the warm water's running through the glaciers, undermining them from below. So we can expect the global warming and the sea level rise to proceed even faster than the predictions, in the worst case predictions from a few years ago. And so here's more of the stuff. Donald Trump tried this last time too, and he's vigorously doing it again. All Center for Disease Control researchers are now ordered to retract all the papers that haven't yet been published so they can be censored to remove politically forbidden words. And they have a list of forbidden words here, which I saw earlier, but now they're blocking me. But it's what you'd figure, anything about DEI, anything about global warming, that may not come up. Probably there's a whole bunch of terms about vaccines and stuff they're not going to allow you to speak anymore either because the Republican Party doesn't believe vaccines work. So they have a whole list of forbidden words that you have to scrub out of it. Anybody that would put like their pronouns next to their name. It's mostly about eliminating the concept that trans people exist. Anyway, we'll see what comes of that. This is certainly the case. They've also, most government websites are going down. So they can either leave them down forever because they're canceling that department, or they can censor them, removing all lesbian, gay, transgender friendly words from it, and any other words they don't like anything that suggests that there is such a thing as global warming. They wanted to eliminate that last time, and I'm sure they're eliminating it again. So, we move into a theocracy where the religion is to worship whatever the Republican Party currently likes. This is very much like what they do in Red China. Like if you were to publish any criticism of a leader, it would be taken down, you would be punished. That's why people were using nicknames and pictures of Winnie the Pooh to symbolize the leader and stuff, and we're going to be doing that here pretty soon, if you aren't already. So CISA, I expected CISA to be gone by now. Trump fired the head of CISA last time he was in because he said that the foreign nations did not hack into our voting machines and change the outcome of the 2020 election. Trump lost. So for that he was fired, and Trump orders everyone, it's a litmus test for the current administration, everybody who get a job at all must say that Trump won the 2020 election and the Democrats rigged it and Joe Biden was an illegitimate president. You must say that. It's a religious statement. And since CISA didn't say that, I expected CISA to be abolished by now. However, I think just through incompetence they haven't done that yet, because they sent out an email to everybody, Elon Musk did, imitating the email he used to fire 80% of the people at Twitter, sent every government employee, most of them anyway, saying, you can quit right now, and then you'll get 9 months of severance pay. If you stay, we'll just lay you off pretty soon and you'll get nothing. Although he doesn't have the authority to do that, and he doesn't have the funds to do that. So it's a lie, like everything he says. But the point is to try to get people to quit. But the CISA people did not get that layer because they're technically in security. And, and Voice Bahia is saying you're frightened. Well, I think it is reasonable to be frightened in America. We really are entering a very bad period. However, we've been through it before with Trump. Well, this is much worse. The interesting thing is, what are the Democrats going to do? And so far, the Democratic leaders don't even seem to have angry words. Hopefully they will soon. And a lot of this will probably be reversed. So, I wouldn't panic yet, especially if you're in California. The California state government will protect us for a while. But certainly, I know some transgender people have already fled the nation. If you are transgender or Muslim or Hispanic or an undocumented immigrant of any kind, then I think you're correct to be frightened. They're going after those people right now. And they'll go after all the rest of us before long. Nobody is ever safe in a fascist administration. They start by going after groups that they think nobody will care about, and then they just go after more and more and more groups until it's everybody. That's a common mistake. People think I'm safe because I'm not gay or Hispanic or something, and that's false. All that means is they don't come after you until later. For example, I know they'll come after the college teachers and the educated people and the Jews after they're done with these. So I planned in the first Trump administration that when they shut down the New York Times is probably when I should flee, looking at the history of Nazi Germany. And we are following exactly the history of Nazi Germany, exactly along the timeline of Nazi Germany. So Trump already released the Proud Boys to be his Hitler Youth. And, they don't plan to replace CISA. No, they don't. So we'll see. I don't think they have any plan to replace it. Perhaps they'll even leave it up, but they're going to tell them it's absolutely not their job to secure elections. It is just their job to protect servers from foreign attacks of other types. It's not clear, but the point is every government agency will be told their number one point is to push the political agenda of Trump, and any actual scientific accomplishment should be subordinate to political orthodoxy first. This is very much what happened in the USSR. So, I think it's appropriate to be worried about this. I wouldn't be too frightened yet unless you're in one of those specific groups that are currently being oppressed. But we'll all be oppressed before long. So hopefully the Democrats will start pushing back pretty soon. Anyway, I'm going to stop the recording of this.